Hi everyone, Dr. Arland Hill here with you, and I wanted to review a couple of compost pile options for you. And I like to think about the compost pile as multivitamins for your ground and soil that you're going to be planting in, because it provides a ton of nutrients that you're just not going to be able to find elsewhere. Specifically, one that is very well missing from a lot of different options out there is carbon. So when you compost, you're able to put organic material, carbon back into your soil. Humus is going to be added back to the soil. So I wanted to share a couple of options with you, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start small. So if you are someone who has, say, the option of planting in your backyard and you need some organic material to add to your garden in your backyard, I'm going to show you how to start small with that, and then we're going to scale it up to a little bigger level, and then I'm actually going to show you how to do this if you have a bigger area that you're trying to plant and try to keep up with this. So let me show you one option that is for smaller production, say just some plantings in your backyard, or maybe you just want to nourish some of the flowers around your yard. You can grab a plastic Rubbermaid container like this, and I'll open this up as we do this, and you'll see inside of this Rubbermaid container here, we've just put some leaves in it. And the addition of these leaves, we come in and we'll take this. For us right now is acting as a store container just solely for leaves. But if you're using this in your backyard, what you would also want to do is take various food scraps, things that are compostable items. Maybe the dog hair, you do the vacuum and you need to vacuum up the dog hair, you can throw the dog hair in here. Those are good options. Those types of things are very compostable, so you can add these in. And the nice thing about this, and this is absolutely something you want to consider if you're doing compost, is you might want to cover for it. So you can have this if you're in a neighborhood and maybe the neighbor's got calves, maybe there's some critters around, some raccoons, some possums. This will help keep those kind of guys out of your compost pile. Now, you can go up to the next level here, and you can have an even bigger type of container. And with this one, this is the one that we've been using. We've outgrown this one, but the point being here is that if you have, say, just some fruit trees, or if you have just a couple of plants that you're trying to nourish as a part of your garden, this may be a good option for you. And one of the interesting things that you might consider about this is that, and I'll come around over here, is that when you have something like this, it's always a good idea to stabilize this thing. One of the things that we've learned is that, and you can see I'm pushing in on this, one of the things that we've learned is that as we've added to it, instead of continuing to go up, what it started to do is push out. So you may want to stabilize this with some 2x4s or some type of maybe treated wood in the ground just to keep it stable. But here's the other thing, and this is a little hard to see. If you want to make what's known as compost tea, where you can take the liquid off of this and use that as a part of your compost, what we've got down here is actually a nozzle that you can add water to this. You could run water out of it, and you could collect those nutrients in a liquid format, put those in a sprayer, and spray them around on different applications. So that would be more of an option for medium-sized use. Now, I'm going to transition over and show you, I mentioned this is what we're moving away from just because our needs have gotten bigger. So if your needs are getting bigger too, I'm going to show you what we're going to transition over to right now. All right, so when you last saw this white compost container, it was full of compost. And we've moved that over to a different environment now, to a different compost pile. And if you're looking to upscale your compost, if you have greater needs, I'm going to show you what you can move to. Since as opposed to a single container, we're going to move over to actually having different bins. And I'll scoot over this way and we'll show you. What we did was actually segment out our different panel, our fence panel here. So this is actually hog panel is what this is, and we cut this up into different segments and made 4 bins out of this. And you can see from the 4 bins here on the far end what was in the white container. originally is now what's down in the far end. And when we were making our compost, we've been using leaves that have fallen down. We mulch those up, and now we've got a specific container for those leaves, and you'll be able to see that just right here. And this makes it simple, so as we're bringing out, say, food scraps or other food-based additives that we want to, or ingredients that we want to add into our compost mixture, now we've got a pile that we can throw that in, and we can add leaves on top of that to cover that up at a slow, consistent pace, as opposed to having to throw it all in one container. And when it comes time to actually use the compost, we're going to be able to pull from multiple containers, but also have other piles that are continuing to break down and create the content that we're going to be looking to add to our plant. So, you know, a couple of different options for you. You can scale this down or scale this up depending on what your needs are. Just want to show you a couple of different options that are available for you on this. So listen, if you like the information that I shared with you here, make sure you share it with other people and give us a like down below. We'd appreciate that. Hey, listen guys, I'm Dr. Arland Hill. Look forward to talking with you in the very near future.